The ratings are in for this week's edition of AEW Collision on TNT, and Bryan Danielson versus Ricky Starks main event has delivered big for AEW, as the ratings and viewership number is the highest it was since the AEW World Tag Team Championship match between FTR and Better Than You Bebe earlier on this summer. Of course, Jade Cargill has officially signed with WWE, it's been announced today, and Triple H and others have welcomed her to World Wrestling Entertainment. An update on a possible streaming deal with AEW appearing on the Max streaming service. Speaking of streaming, WWE and Hulu may have reached a temporary agreement for the content to remain on the streaming platform. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about the ratings for AEW Collision on TNT for this past week's episode. And despite strong college football competition, AEW Collision fared fairly well in terms of recent weeks in the ratings and viewership numbers. The numbers are in for the September 23rd episode of AEW Collision on TNT. Observers expected last Saturday's show to get really creamed when it comes to the ratings. It was head-to-head against Ohio State and Notre Dame, which was watched by approximately 10 million people and scored a 2.52 rating among the 18 to 49-year-olds on NBC's for NBC's best college football numbers in 30 years. But surprisingly, despite that strong competition, AEW's numbers actually climbed. Sports TV Ratings has the latest episode of Collision drawing a total audience of 562,000 viewers with a 0.18 rating among 18 to 49-year-olds. Those numbers are up from the September 16 episode, 20% in both metrics, and are actually the show's best numbers they've done since July 29. A fluke? Well, a sign possibly that the Bryan Danielson-led version of the show is gaining traction, or that it's just a subject to the same fluctuations with a certain range that really the CM Punk-led version was. I don't really know. Nevertheless, the numbers AEW would be fairly happy with, one would think, considering, as I mentioned, the strong competition from college football generating some of the best numbers in 30 years. What are your thoughts on this numbers? Is this just where we're at with AEW Collision now? Do you think it's going to be a case of in that range? Will they be happy with that considering the strong sporting competition, or will WBD still be looking at it going, that's below what we had envisioned for that program on Saturday nights? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Really interesting to know what you guys have to say about that. Of course, one of, if not the biggest story today is Jade Cargill officially signing with WWE, and WWE officially announcing the signing of the former AEW TBS champion. Jade Cargill has now officially signed with WWE. The longest reigning champion in AEW history had been on a sabbatical from her former employer since May after suffering her first singles loss against Chris Statlander at Double or Nothing. Then, Cargill would make her long-awaited return to AEW television earlier this month on an episode of AEW Collision, setting her sights on Statlander and setting up an AEW TBS championship rematch between the two for the following week's episode of Rampage. Cargill, of course, then lost clean, the first time she had been decisively defeated in her entire pro wrestling career, and embraced Statlander after the bout. This signaled to most that Cargill was on her way out of the company, which was heavily reported in the coming days. On Tuesday, today, WWE announced its signing of Cargill to a multi-year contract. It's still currently unknown, as was first reported by ESPN, as to which brand she'll compete for, Raw, SmackDown, or possibly NXT. But it was noted that she's set to report to the WWE Performance Center today, Tuesday, the 26th of September. But since that announcement's been made, she's received several welcomes on social media, possibly the biggest coming from the Game Triple H himself. Let's go straight into it. You can see it on the screen right there. The Game has welcomed WWE's newest acquisition. Following the official announcement of her signing, WWE's Chief Content Officer Paul Triple H Levesque shared praise for Jade Cargill on social media, saying, quote, "A dominant athlete who's here to change the game. Join me in welcoming the newest WWE superstar, Jade Cargill, to the WWE Universe." Now, based off the timing of this announcement, it's possible that Cargill could pop up on WWE television as soon as really tonight's episode of WWE NXT, considering WWE has put a big emphasis on boosting its developmental shows ratings in recent weeks. Dropping this news on the same day of the next episode of NXT could be a way of building buzz for it on USA Network. That said, many believe Cargill will be fast-tracked to the main roster. She has worked on network television for almost 3 years now, wrestling on TNT, TBS, and pay-per-view on on multiple occasions. Beyond that, there is an immediate storyline for Cargill should she get that instant call-up when Cody Rhodes brought Jey Uso to Monday Night Raw. It was noted that WWE SmackDown would receive something in return, considering Rhodes and Cargill's history together in AEW. The fact that Rhodes helped train Cargill, there is reason to believe Cargill might end up being that mystery trade return for Jey Uso, although many people believe it's most likely going to be Cody Rhodes going to the blue brand. But in Triple H as well, it's not just Triple H, it's also AEW stars too, because absolute Ricky Starks has also commented on Jade Cargill's official signing with WWE. Ricky Starks posted on social media, proud as well, of course, Ricky Starks, close friends with Cody Rhodes. Obviously, Jade Cargill trained by Cody Rhodes, and also as well, it must be stated that Ricky Starks is someone that it's been rumored that WWE may be interested in signing at the end of his contract. What do you think this means, or is it just a case of Starks supporting a friend? Similarly to how he supported Cody Rhodes when he returned at the Royal Rumble earlier this year. Of course, leaked CCTV footage actually showed the former FTW champion backstage for Cody Rhodes' return to WWE in-ring competition. Finally, as well, there was also another name that commented on her, and that was Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller, he's very much known to see what's being written about in the headlines, have the pulse of what's going on social media as well. And with the popular star now with WWE in Jade Cargill, there's been a lot of speculation about Cargill's TV debut for the company. Grayson Waller has now taken to social media to suggest that Cargill should appear in a segment with him, writing, quote, "What better way to introduce Jade Cargill to the WWE universe than appearing on the hottest talk show in the industry, The Grayson Waller Effect." Waller, of course, is a recent graduate of WWE's Performance Center, moving from NXT to the main roster in May as part of the 2023 WWE Draft. The Aussie star has been presented as one of WWE's next top talents. He's recently featured in segments with notable names such as Edge, John Cena, Cody Rhodes, and others. So it could be possible, certainly, that Cargill makes her anticipated WWE debut on an episode of The Grayson Waller Effect. What are your thoughts on the welcomes for Jade Cargill? What are your thoughts on her future plans in WWE? Where do you think she's going to land? NXT, Raw, SmackDown, given the fact that NXT's tonight? Could she appear on NXT? She's at the Performance Center today. WWE have already said that. Of course, that's where NXT is filmed. Or could she make her debut this coming weekend at NXT No Mercy? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. Now, speaking of AEW, a bit of an update when it comes to their possible future on a streaming service. An update has emerged on AEW content potentially streaming on Max ahead of AEW announcing a streaming deal. With AEW's TV shows airing on networks owned by Warner Bros. Discovery, it has been previously speculated that AEW will eventually land a deal to have its content on the company's streaming service. Andrew Zarian of the Mat Men podcast has now noted that he's confident that AEW content will arrive on Max in 2024. Believing that there's a chance that a 2023 show could air via the streaming service, Zarian noted the following on Wrestling Observer Live, saying, quote, "I do have insight. They are going to Max. That is happening. That is happening in 2024 for sure. Maybe the December pay-per-view is on Max. That's a real possibility," Zarian said. This all comes after Warner Bros. Discovery announced that Max is adding a live sports tier to its service on October 5th. The new tier will be titled Bleacher Report Sports Add-on, or BR Sports. The live sports tier will be an additional $10 on top of Max's standard subscription fee, and there will be a free promotional period that runs through October as well. Of course, AEW pay-per-view events currently air on Bleacher Report Live too. So if, of course, we get any official announcement on that, we'll let you know. But Andrew Zarian of the Mat Men podcast is saying absolutely in 2024, AEW is going to be on that streaming service. Now, finally, speaking of streaming services, Hulu, they've once again, this isn't actually the first time this has happened, it must be said, possibly have a temporary agreement to keep content from WWE on their platform, as WWE has been strengthening its relationship with the USA Network and NBC Universal, agreeing to a deal to bring SmackDown back to USA just last week. Its next-day streaming rights deal with Hulu has seemed as rocky as ever. Following the SmackDown to USA announcement, Hulu would list WWE content on their platform as expiring on Monday and Tuesday of this week, with the service later confirming their deal with WWE was coming to an end. At least for the moment, however, it appears there's been a minor reprieve. A quick look at Hulu shows that WWE content is still available to view on Hulu, with it now being listed as expiring on Monday or Tuesday of next week. While there is no confirmation, it would suggest the two sides have agreed to a short-term extension, though it remains unclear whether there are ongoing negotiations between the both sides for Hulu to keep WWE's next day rights. Fans with long memories will note that this is an eerily similar scenario, one to WWE and Hulu that they went through 1 year ago this month. WWE content was set to be pulled from Hulu on September 24, 2022, before the two sides reached a short-term extension to keep WWE on the streaming service through September 29 as they continued to negotiate. The two sides would eventually agree to a deal which, given the current situation, appears to have been for 1 year only. Should WWE content be taken off Hulu, it would end a partnership between the two sides that began all the way back in September of 2012. Of course, if we get any more updates about this, we'll let you know. But at the moment, WWE, or rather TKO, are certainly negotiating a lot when it comes to streaming rights and media rights for WWE. But there you go, guys. It's the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.